I believe that clay heals minds.
It's an approachable material. Plates and functional objects are something we all have a relationship to.
Clay is this endlessly fascinating material. It is something that everybody knows, not just sort of intellectually, but with their hands. At the same time, it can be incredibly complex.
We're celebrating the inaugural exhibition of Making Place Matter in our new facility in South Kensington.
Conceptually, this exhibition started maybe 5 or 6 years ago, definitely in conjunction with our move to this South Kensington neighborhood. Just really thinking about what it meant to be a good neighbor and engage the community.
We really reached out to the existing arts organizations and cultural organizations, and from a few of the early projects that we did in the neighborhood, we asked people to come with us and join our council. So we formed the Making Place Matter Council, which ended up being one major aspect of the project.
It was really nice that the clay studio not only came into the neighborhood and built the building, but also asked for the input of the neighbors. And I think it just made the neighbors and made all the schools that are nearby just feel relaxed. We did get a stipend for attending the meetings. It just made us feel important, like our voices and our time was worth someone to listen to.
We talked to them about the artists. We started talking to each other as a group, and we actually even went as far as to design some benches for the gallery.
The furniture, I didn't know foam came in that many levels, different levels. But just again, the fact that the clay studio took that time to involve neighbors, because now we feel as neighbors, that's our chair.
One of the most exciting conversations we had with the council members was about the title. We realized that we actually needed to have 3 titles, an English, an Arabic, and a Spanish title. So the council helped us come up with those 3 titles, and just saying that each language deserves to have its own title standing alone. And then what happened was we ended up having this wonderful breaking down of the hierarchy. We had the council members write labels. We have the council members' labels on the walls right next to the curator's labels, because what everyday visitors to the gallery think and see is just as important as what those of us who are sort of, studying the work and talking with the artists. This is really just the beginning of our work with the community. Every single exhibition going forward will have the input of our community members.
And because we were able to do this with artists that had deep connections to place in their own practice, that in turn also reflected the community.
My work inspired from Islamic architecture and geometric design. So with this is the bank of the Nile. I am thinking about place itself, I'm thinking about community, I'm thinking about culture, I'm thinking about memory. Usually the Mashrabiyya piece is always flat street, and that's my concept, like the possibility of the movement of the clay, the possibility of the fire, and how the piece move actually in the fire. That's what led me to try to think about the curve. But because the piece is very big, so you don't want to move so much, so you have to curve it before you put it inside the clay. So.
Philadelphia is an American city, right? Like, we all have sort of our own association with Philadelphia. It felt really important for me to address this idea of we're all unified by being American, to sort of point to here in Philadelphia our collective American experience. What I was trying to do or thinking about in making Linnea and Linnea Stack was reflecting my own sense of place, not only as an American, but just as a person. For me, it was interesting to take that snake pattern and the Ouroboros thinking and have those in conversation, a sort of contemporary thing with a historic thing. And again, the gold on the side of Linnea Stack, bringing the viewer in by reflecting them in the work.
The inspiration behind the series was my daughter. When I made the painting, I had a certainty to be the most beautiful I have ever been, if I ever been beautiful at all. I found all of that really beautiful, that my body was capable of giving life. Then we had the situation of children being separated from their parents at the border. As a mother, just imagining something like that happening to me, I think that I would go crazy. They are meant to be held, and I like the idea when the public is here to be able to pass them on, and they can carry them as a metaphor of the responsibility that we should have for the vulnerability of a child.
I hope that everyone who comes into this gallery sees the cultural heritage of these artists and really deeply feels the connection that all of us have.
The Clay Studio has the purpose of bringing all those different aesthetics to have the common denominator of clay within its walls.
We're all using the same material, but still we're coming up with our version of what makes a place matter. I'm just blown away by the craftsmanship and incredible thinking that went into the show.
There is connection between the three work together clearly, even if our work is so much different.
For years, our programs were a little siloed in terms of our education programs and hands-on programs, and then what people would experience in the gallery or the shop. So really what we wanted to do is bridge that together and have it be more of an experience for the people walking through the front door.
There's something very magical about touching clay, and when they can sort of connect their own experience with making and creativity with what they're seeing in the gallery, it can spark new passions, new ideas, and really deepen the experience.